Hello, Sergio.
Hello,
How are you?
good and yourself?
Fine, thank you. So, thank you for joining me again. Um, just to recap last session, um, I sent you two assessments that you were going to complete, and you did complete them. So, thank you for that. Thank you for your time in taking those assessments. And we are going to get started with discussing the assessments. So, the first assessment you took was the grit scale. So grit is referred to as having an ultimate concern and holding on and working towards that concern. So in simple terms, it means perhaps you have a goal and you keep going. Even though there might be situations that are not so good or they're challenging, um, you still have that constant interest and that constant effort. The assessment can also be related to like self-reflection because the score determines the grit you have. So it helps you like self-reflect on, oh, how much grit do I have? And the assessment can also identify accountability because the score can help us recognize what standards we hold ourselves to. Um, we each have different standards, like, oh, maybe I need to do well in school, I have high standards for school. Or my work performance, my work ethic is high. So how we perform at work is like above average or very good. So if we look at the results, your score was 3.40, and it says it was higher than about 40% of American adults. So grit could be present in some areas of our life, and in other areas, it might not be present. So, what areas is grit currently present or has been present?
Grit is currently present in school. I haven't given up on school. um, and also with my, like you said, with work ethic, I feel like in work I have grit to do the best I can in the way in my work ethic and the way I perceive myself to others. So I feel like I have grit in making sure that I'm doing the best I can in my work ethic and um, following up with my classes here at school.
Okay. And you mentioned that you have not given up at school. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So when for calculus, I had the first time I took it, I failed, and I almost quit school because I thought I wasn't like gonna succeed in school. And so then, after some reflection, I continued school because I really wanted to pursue my degree and choose the career that I wanted to choose. And so then I continued school, and so far I haven't given up on school because I feel like I just, with grit, I've been able to succeed.
Okay. So you took calculus and you failed it.
Mhm.
And that failure, it did want you to give up, but you kept on going.
Mhm.
Um, so you had to retake calculus again?
Yes.
And how did grit help you in the retake of calculus? Or what did you do differently?
So with grit, I feel like it made me reflect on my previous performance, and so I really wanted to succeed the next time I took it. So I was practicing more of the problems and going and staying here at school to practice on my homework, to do my homework and practice some more problems before I went home. So I feel like I was more involved in school in general. Like I was spending more time here.
Perhaps you dedicated more time to studying for calculus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there anything else that you did? Like perhaps did you attend like tutoring sessions or reach out to like your professor for office hours?
Yeah, there was a thing called enrichment sessions, which was when you go on separate hours from your usual class days,
Mm-hmm.
and you dedicate 2 to 3 hours to doing your homework in person. I'm sorry, in class,
Okay.
um, and to get assistance. There was a professor there um, to assist us. So I feel like that encouraged me to keep like working, to keep practicing on my homework.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you did use additional
Yeah,
resources. You went to, you said it was called enrichment lab,
enrichment sessions.
enrichment sessions. Uh, and even though that was extra time from your regular class meetings, you were there present and you dedicated that time to complete or get extra help.
Yes.
Okay. And then what environments have influenced your grit?
Um, I would say here at school, it had it has influenced me to not give up so easily because of the Puente program that I am in, and being surrounded by successful people, um, and their encouragement has really encouraged me to keep doing better in my classes and in general, um, be the best person I can be. And then at home as well, I feel like I have a very supportive family, so it encourages me more um, to keep going, to keep succeeding. And I feel like that's where I have my grit, where my grit comes from is from home and school, surrounded by support.
Okay. You mentioned the Puente program and that you see successful people. How would you describe those successful people?
Very diligent, hardworking, supportive. Um, you showing that like they care about students.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'd say that sums up um, like how I perceive them and like how they make me feel.
Okay, you mentioned those people are hardworking, and you had also mentioned you have a good work ethic.
Mhm.
Um, is there any relationship there that perhaps you're able to identify with those people because they also have a good work ethic?
Yeah, I would say communication. Oh, that's another thing that they communicate. They make sure to communicate well with their faculty, with
Mm-hmm.
the faculty here. So I feel like since I value communication a lot too, um, I try my best to communicate well with the faculty here, and they talk a lot about professionalism. So the way I perceive myself to the faculty and how we perceive ourselves as a team, um, I feel like I get most of my not most of my, but I have been influenced a lot by the faculty in the Puente program and my boss, and um, to have those qualities in me.
Okay. And then you also mentioned they provide you with encouragement.
Mhm.
Um, are you able to provide like examples of the different types of encouragement?
Um, yeah, so an example could be when my guidance counselor, which is the coordinator too of the Puente program, um, when she encourages us to take classes that may seem like hard,
Mm-hmm.
but with tutoring or with um, staying on campus more and like using resources
Mm-hmm.
um, to succeed in the courses, I feel like with that encouragement, I've been able to like keep up with my classes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also, I feel like they create like a family oriented, like a family feeling, I
Okay.
guess you can say, here on campus, and making sure that you have like a community here.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. So there has been times that you might think like, oh, this course is too hard for me.
Mhm.
But once you become aware of like there's extra supports and extra resources, maybe individually you thought you weren't going to be successful, but working as a team with those extra supports and those resources, that has allowed you to succeed.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also mentioned that they help you create like a family environment. I think that could relate to uh, the other environment you mentioned of home, where at home you also have a supportive family and they encourage you.
Mhm.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but having that family environment here at school um, and at home, that just even motivates you and encourages you to keep going.
Mhm.
Okay. And have there been any challenges that have influenced your grit?
Um, um, so for that example from calculus, I feel like that has influenced my grit for the better.
Okay.
And also when I was seeking jobs, before I applied here for work study,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't hearing back from jobs that I was applying to, but that didn't affect my grit in a negative way. I feel like it encouraged it more. Like I got more grit from that to continue applying to jobs. So I feel like in those aspects, there's those challenges and slash experiences have
Mm-hmm.
affect my grit in a positive way.
Okay. So you were applying for jobs, but you weren't getting like a call back or an email back.
Mhm.
But instead of you like giving up and you're like, let me just be a student, full time student,
Mhm.
dedicate all my time to school, you still kept on applying.
Yeah.
And then you applied here on campus
Yeah.
and you were able to get an on campus job.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any other challenges you would like to share?
I think that's the more major ones I can think of right now.
Okay. And then are you a go getter in every area of your life?
I wouldn't say in every area.
Okay.
Mainly the ones I feel more passionate about. For example, um, making sure that I have a good relationship with people, um, and seeking more guidance when I can. And also um, for the career that I want, I never stop like looking for how I can get there and like more opportunities to get
Okay. So you mentioned that you're not a go getter in every area of your life. That it's where you have like a passion
there.
or an interest.
Mhm.
Um, how do you know when there is that interest or that passion?
I get a strong urge to be successful um, in that area, and my passion, in that passion. For example, for drawing, I really loved it, so I put my full time into it
Mm-hmm.
and learning more areas around that. And for here at school, um, because I wanted to do better with my courses, I was spending more time in like I can see like if I didn't um have like a encouragement or like in my brain in my head that I could be successful here, I wouldn't have continued school.
Okay. So grit can also be related to self-efficacy.
Mm-hmm.
Self-efficacy is defined as individuals believe in their ability to succeed
Mm-hmm.
in specific tasks, situations, and goals. How would you rank your self-efficacy on a scale of 1 to 5? With 1 being none, 2 being weak, 3 being moderate, 4 being neutral, and 5 being strong.
Um,
Sorry, I messed up. So 1 being none, 2 being weak, 3 being neutral, 4 being moderate, and 5 being strong.
I would say a 4. um, yeah, I would say a 4, but I would like to also say a 5 because
Mm-hmm.
um, I feel like I can because of how I was raised, like from my parents. Um, I feel like I could do whatever I set my mind to.
Okay.
Um, and I know that I would be able to succeed because I would put like my full effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I would rank it pretty high. Like so like a 4 going to a 5 because there's some like doubt that I might have sometimes.
Okay, so 4 moderate and then 5 strong. So in between there?
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned that based on your home environment.
Mm-hmm.
So are there certain values or standards that stand out to you that you're like, oh, I rank myself efficacy of 4 or 5 because of these values or these standards?
Yeah. I would say what in regards to work ethic, I feel like my parents have taught me to be a really good worker,
Mm-hmm.
um, and making sure that you, yeah, come about to be like your professionalism,
Mm-hmm.
and also communication, and making sure that you communicate well with in your job or with just in general with others.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like uh, my parents have taught me well to be able to like because of those values. Uh, I have pretty. Uh, I would rate myself like high self efficacy.
Okay. And communication
Mm-hmm.
um, is huge. It
Mm-hmm.
could have big effects in different areas of our life.
Mm-hmm.
It could be applied to different areas of our life. So communication is definitely a value or a standard to have, being able to communicate with others.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you have previously mentioned your work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do have standards for yourself and having a strong work
Yeah.
ethic or a
Mm-hmm.
good work ethic
Mm-hmm.
because you have seen it in your family.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to go to the next assessment. The next assessment was the Career One Stop Work Values Matcher.
Mm-hmm.
This assessment ranks 6 values from most important to least. The first value for you was recognition.
Mm-hmm.
So recognition can be described as motivation to advance and lead in one's career. Recognition in internships or careers can relate to working in an environment that allows hands-on experience.
Mm-hmm.
For you can get feedback on the knowledge or the skills you are developing.
Mm-hmm.
That feedback could be provided informally,
Mm-hmm.
meaning it could be provided like at the moment
Mm-hmm.
or at the end of like your day,
Mm-hmm.
or it could also be provided formally,
Mm-hmm.
meaning it could be provided every so often during performance reviews. Different companies have different like guidelines or standards regarding performance reviews, so that varies.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have them like every like a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe every 3 months, so that would equal to 4 performance reviews in a year.
Okay.
Other companies have maybe twice per year, so maybe every like 6 months.
Okay.
It just varies by company and whatever their guidelines and their standards are.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in the society terms of feedback, there's like positive and negative feedback. Um, what's your opinion regarding those two types of feedback?
I feel like the negative and positive, it tells you how well you're doing
Okay.
something, your performance.
Mm-hmm.
So positive can, I feel like in my eyes, positive feedback is always positive, like your how well you're doing, and negative feedback is the areas where you kind of struggle or like weak in, but that doesn't mean that you're a bad, you're doing poor in that area. It's just you need to work on that area to
Okay.
be able to like for advance.
So, would you relate negative feedback with opportunities to improve
Mm-hmm.
or seeking additional opportunities?
I feel like I would relate it to opportunities to improve.
Okay. Um, and like you mentioned, it might be things that you're not so good at, but that doesn't mean that you're completely bad. You're completely bad.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And since you're able to seek opportunities to improve, it's like you could also seek extra supports or extra resources
Mm-hmm.
to get to that improvement.
Yeah, I would say so. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, in simple terms, like negative feedback is an opportunity to grow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Um, so a main component of like the recognition value is to advance and lead in one's career.
Mm-hmm.
So how important is it to you to intern or work in an environment that provides the opportunity to get hired on afterwards?
I would say it would be important to me because knowing that they are familiar with your work ethic and they like how you are as a person and as how you work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be a good like it would be and it would encourage you to keep striving for more in that internship or in when you are hired. So you could familiarize yourself with that with the employer and with the work ethic that they have and are expecting you to have. So I feel like that would be important because then you could continue to advance and like do work on areas better, like that you might be lacking.
Okay, so it is important for you to intern with the company that you're able to get hired on afterwards. And you already internship, doing an internship there, like that will shine a light to your work ethic, and that will provide them an opportunity to see your work ethic, to possibility for there could be a possibility where you could be a candidate to get hired on.
Yes.
Okay. Are you also interested in working for a company that gives opportunities to promote?
Yes.
So recognition was ranked as the most important value. Recognition is motivation, perhaps also encouragement to advance and lead in your career. How have your roles, and referring to roles, those were the roles discussed previously in the other session, of like being a son, being a sibling, and being a friend, contribute to motivation being important to you?
Can you repeat the first?
Yes. So recognition was ranked as the most important value. And so how have your roles of being a son, being a sibling, being a friend contribute to motivation being important to you?
So in those roles, like for example, being a son, I feel like recognition is pretty important to, in my eyes, like for being like a good son, or making sure that I like am doing my part
Okay.
in that role, like of being a son, a sibling as well, like support. um, and I feel like because my family values that too, I'm able to I like strive for that, for like recognition, making sure that I'm being supportive to that in my role, to being to providing support. And the same goes to like being a friend, and also I forgot to mention the other time of being an uncle as well, and making sure that I support my nieces so that they can get motivation and more support for them to improve on themselves.
So you being a son, your parents have motivated you. You being a brother, your sisters have motivated you and encouraged you. And that has developed as motivation being important to you. And now you're also applying that in school, in work, but even in the role of being an uncle.
Yes.
You're going to continue to carry the value of motivation and practice motivation with your nieces. Okay. Yeah. So your second value is achievement. Achievement relates to learning new skills, meeting new challenges, and completing work that provides strong feelings of accomplishment. Individuals that get a higher ranking in achievement, they tend to be initiators. Okay. Any service or project they perform, they like to see the end product, and they are also willing to continuously keep learning by attending trainings or expanding or furthering their education. So going back to self-efficacy, and just a reminder, self-efficacy is individuals believe in their ability to succeed. So how does self-efficacy influence your achievement?
I feel like they go hand in hand. The self-efficacy comes first and then achievement, because without knowing that you can succeed and believing that you can succeed in that area determines whether you achieve what you were striving for. So I feel like self-efficacy is pretty much what determines your achievements.
Okay. So having that self-belief about yourself or that self-awareness has a great influence on achievement.
Yes.
And where has that belief of self-efficacy came from?
I feel like everybody has that, but in my experience, definitely with my parents.
Okay.
Parents and siblings, but parents is mostly where I think the source is from. Yeah, because I feel like without having that proper teaching of self-efficacy, some it may vary for some people, but I feel like I did get I get my strong self-efficacy from my parents.
So just like in the last session, you're sharing with me, and I appreciate you sharing with me that your family is a huge component, is a huge value in your life. And this belief of you being able to succeed, it is a lot of the weight of it is thanks to them.
Yes.
They have taught you that you're able to succeed, and they have motivated you and encouraged you that you're able to succeed.
Yes.
Okay. So the third value is relationships. So relationships are related to the elements of public service, orientation, and teamwork. So in a simple summary, relationships are individuals enjoy providing services to others. The relationship value, it matches the roles that you identified in the previous session of being a son, a father, being a son, a brother, and a friend. And it even matches to the new role you identified in this session, which is being an uncle. You had mentioned you try to support others as much as you can. In addition, there could be a connection towards internships and future careers because you will want to learn, develop, and grow as much as you can for you could help out in any way possible during your internship or your career.
Yes.
Okay. In the previous session, you allowed me to learn that good relationships are important to you. The element of good relationships can also be applied to internships or future careers because you prefer to have coworkers that are able to have good communication, good collaboration, and good cooperation. So in simple, you prefer to work with the individuals that are reliable and can work well in a team.
Yes.
Okay. And then the fourth value is working conditions. And working conditions are related to specific circumstances in a work environment. So that might be like the pay, the benefits, the type of people you work with. Those are different components that could be attributed to working conditions. Your fifth value is support. Support is described specifically on this assessment because it's a values that are towards work. So support here is described as a strong connection between an employer and an employee.
Okay.
So that could be like having support from your bosses, having support from your managers, maybe even like having an open door policy. That means that if your supervisors are not available, you could go talk to the manager. So you could like perhaps skip a rank. You don't have to go in order of the ranks. The sixth value is independence, and independence is defined as sharing and executing one's ideas and perspectives in the workplace. So working conditions, support, and independence, those are ranked as your lower values. And correct me if I'm wrong, but perhaps this could make sense because you had mentioned that you haven't gotten as much experience as you would like to in your field. So because there's a lack of that experience, you haven't gotten awareness about like working conditions or support or sharing and seeing your ideas brought to life.
Yeah, I feel like that is true.
Okay. So now that we discussed the values, what are your opinions on the ranking of these values?
I would say they're sort of accurate, but I would make some adjustments to the ranking.
Okay. Can you share those adjustments you would make?
Yeah, so since my top three were recognition, achievement, and relationships, I would rank relationships first, then recognition, and then third, achievement.
Okay. So in terms of ranking them, they would be in different numbers, right?
Yes.
So those are your top three ranks. Would those stay as your top three, or would you shift some of the other values into your top three?
I feel like those three would be my
Your top three? Okay. So those would be your top three, and would you say those would be like non-negotiable? Like they would stay in your top three?
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned the top one you would choose would be relationships.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Would you be willing to negotiate relationships, or would it be a non-negotiable value?
I feel like it would be a non-negotiable value.
Okay. Would you be able to elaborate on that?
I feel like because I would put it in first relationships, I value making sure that collaboration and filling the areas in a team is pretty important. And if another area were to be another value were to be filled, that I feel like it wouldn't correlate with like my values as much, and because I value relationships so much, it wouldn't be negotiable. Because
Okay. Well, I'm able. It does make sense that you would put relationships as your top value, because if we go back and reflect on what you have been saying about your family and home environment, having those good relationships with your parents and your siblings and your nieces, but also if we reflect on what you have been saying about school, having those relationships like with the Puente program, or having those relationships to get you the support or the resources you need, like going to the lab to get extra time and extra help. So it does encompass what you have been sharing about school, about family.
Yes.
Okay. And then you would put recognition as your second.
Mm.
Would you be able to elaborate on that?
Yeah. For recognition, I would say I value um, encouraging words or like affirmation from others, um, because that makes me feel like I am doing my part and I'm doing a good job at it. So I should keep going and keep improving to um, I don't know if impress is like a good word to describe it. Like
Okay.
making sure that I come about others like in a positive way. So I feel like recognition would be second because I do value that affirmation, I guess, in my performance.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, but perhaps you like for others to know or have a positive image of you.
Yes.
Okay. And then your third one is achievement. Would you say that relationships and recognition can influence your achievement?
Yes, because if I don't have those two, I feel like I wouldn't really achieve much.
Okay.
So they do go, they do correlate with achievement.
Okay. Yeah, and the connection the connection is there, right? Because sometimes, like the saying says, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That could open up doors for you or could open up opportunities for you that could help you get to where you want to be or succeed in whatever you want to do. And then, getting that feedback, whether it's positive or negative, that will also allow you to keep going to improve to get to where you want to be or to how you would define being successful. Okay. And so last session we also discussed about seeking opportunities for internships.
Okay.
So I did do some research, and I remember that your major is hardware engineering. And when I was doing research, it actually helped me learn too. So thank you, because I don't know much about like STEM fields or engineering, particularly engineering. So I was able to learn. And I learned that like hardware engineering, it's related to like different types of engineering. It could be related to like electrical, computer, software, and system engineering. And when I was reading this, I was like surprised about electrical engineering because I was like, wait, that's like electrical, but I was like, it makes sense because engineering, it's like you guys have a foundation in math and physics, and that relates to electrical.
Yeah.
So as I was researching internship postings, I saw that they're like divided or they're categorized into industries.
Yes.
So I would suggest to research and filter down to like 3 to 5 industries.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure. Have you done that already?
Sort of, but not fully.
Okay. So in these internship postings, the industries, they range from like IT, aviation and aerospace, defense and space manufacturing, which that specifically is like for military capabilities and technology. And there were other also there were many more like industries. So that's why I would suggest to do some research, see what you're interested about, what you're passionate about. As you mentioned, you know, your grit is very active in what you're interested and passionate about. So I think that would be helpful in identifying what industry am I interested in? What industry, like, do I want to learn more? Would I be passionate to learn more?
Okay.
So that would be one of the suggestions. Do some research and then just create a 3 to 5 list of industries.
Okay.
And then another resource would be LinkedIn. Do you have a LinkedIn profile?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done some research there regarding internships?
Yeah, I was trying to, but I couldn't really find much.
Okay, so I did a few searches for internships, and this is one of the postings. So this one is a system engineer intern. This is in the industry of aviation and aerospace. And you are able to see like what the requirements are. So they call it qualifications. So it's to have strong technical communication skills, strong technical fundamentals in an engineering discipline, and then working knowledge of system engineering principles. So I remember you saying that you don't have the experience.
Yes.
So sometimes that could be something that like hinders your motivation, or you're like, no, like I'm not gonna apply for internships because they're looking for people that already have experience. That could be the case sometimes. They do look for people that have experience. But in this posting, like that's not a requirement.
Okay.
Like as long as you have strong communication skills, the technical fundamentals, and then knowledge of system engineering principles, you would be able to apply. So it's like looking at what the requirements are. Because if you apply to an internship like this and then you get it, it's like this will give you experience to applying into another internship that does require experience.
Okay.
And then there was another posting. This is a system engineering intern for the summer. And then let's go down to looking at the qualifications. So here it says you need to have at least one semester of school remaining after your internship.
Okay.
Which you will, because you're going to transfer and you'll still have like a year or so left for your program. Your GPA should be 3.0 or above.
Okay.
Do you know what your GPA is?
Yes.
Is it higher than that?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that's great because you'll qualify for those 2 requirements. And then the next requirement is 3+ months of applied engineering experience.
Okay.
That could be anything from an internship, a laboratory, and a personal/team project experience. Okay. Do you have anything that would qualify for this requirement?
No, I wouldn't.
No. I know you're at community college right now, and most of the classes that are done are like your general requirements and then the coursework to be able to transfer.
Yes.
Have you done any like classes that are labs for engineering?
No.
No? Okay. But once you transfer, at whatever school you go to, you're going to be focusing more on your courses for your major,
Yes.
which is engineering. So there will be courses that are labs. So those courses you take, the semester quarter system is longer than 3 months. So those could be, those classes you take could fulfill that requirement. Okay. Because it'll be more than 3 months.
Yeah.
Especially if they're labs, which I'm pretty sure there'll be labs. Yeah. Yes. So now this one, you might have to wait a little bit longer to apply for it. It won't be maybe until after you transfer before you can fulfill that requirement. And then if we keep scrolling down, these are the qualifications they would definitely like you to have. So if you have these, you will be considered even more. So a GPA of 3.5 or above. So going back to the GPA question, is your GPA 3.5 or higher?
It's below, so it's like a 3.3.
Okay.
3.35.
Okay. Well, you still need to finish up this semester and next semester, so you still have time to improve your GPA. And since you're gonna transfer and we're gonna wait on like any internship requiring a lab of 3 months or more, that coursework you'll do when you transfer, it could also help bring your GPA up to a 3.5. And then 6+ months of applied experience, which you will probably be able to get that because you're going to transfer.
Yeah.
And then experience in developing and running test scripts. Have you had any experience with that?
No.
No? Okay. But like I said, a lot of your courses, once you transfer, are going to be more hands-on, more applicable to engineering. So these are just qualifications they will like you to have, but they're not the required. So you will meet the required qualifications. And then this other posting, this one is a hardware engineering. So I was like, oh wow, like one that matches like your specific major. So, and then here it gives a brief like description. So hardware design with strong backgrounds in electrical engineering and a curiosity about hardware product design. You want to continue reading right here?
Yes, hardware design interns work with a close-knit, multidisciplinary team, enjoying hands-on work. With cutting-edge visual computing platforms, primary responsibilities may include hardware testing, debugging, and validation of new products to ensure they meet performance. That they meet performance, functional, and quality objectives.
So based on the description, this might be something of your interest because it's specifically hardware, and you know, it wants individuals that work well in a team, and it wants individuals that want that hands-on experience, which in the previous discussions, you know, you want to get that experience for you to continue to learn and develop skills. And for this one, so the applications, they don't have like a deadline for this one. It's accepted on an ongoing basis. So for this one, you're able to apply like constantly, continuously. And it doesn't really have a specific area regarding qualification or requirements, huh?
Not that I see.
But when it just briefly states here that they are looking for students pursuing a bachelor's
Yes.
within a relevant or related field.
Mhm.
So you are in a related field, of course.
Mhm.
You're a software engineer, and you are in the process of your bachelor's. So this could also be a good first-time opportunity
Mhm.
because the brief qualifications that I mentioned, you do meet them.
Mhm.
And then the other posting of systems engineering could also be a good first-time opportunity because
Mhm.
you do meet the requirements.
Mhm. Okay.
So, yeah, so just to summarize,
Mhm.
for the next meeting,
Mhm.
it would be beneficial for you to do some research and then have 3 to 5 industries that you are interested in.
Okay.
And then also perhaps like starting an application just to see the process
Okay.
of it, like what it requires. Like, does it require a resume, a cover letter, letters of recommendation?
Okay.
I know you mentioned you have good relationships with the Puente program. You work there, correct?
Yes, I do.
And then you have so the letters of recommendation, they could usually come from like professors, but sometimes since you already do have experience in working, it might not be in the career you're wanting to go through, but it is in a professional setting.
Yes.
Getting that letter of recommendation from your supervisor, based on your work ethic, which you know is a strong work ethic, that could be a good or a positive letter of recommendation. For your resume, it's usually tailored by job, so you know you won't use the same resume for every job.
Yeah.
You tailor it to whatever field you're applying to. So if you would like to look over your resume too, and or even if you don't have time, you could bring it in the next session, and we could look over it. We could look over it, give you suggestions, or help you edit it. That way, it could be ready for when you do take that step to apply. So, so getting that list of 3 to 5 industries you're interested, taking a look at the application process. Maybe not even starting it, taking a look at it to see what's required regarding your resume, cover letter, letters of recommendation.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That sounds really good.
Okay. Anything else you would like to work on for future sessions?
I feel like right now it's pretty good.
Okay. Anything that was helpful from the session or not helpful from the session? That way we could learn and improve for next session.
Something helpful was just preparation, making sure that I'm seeking what legal opportunities to improve my experience and be able to work up from there.
Okay.
I feel like that was pretty helpful in taking into account.
Okay. Okay. Any questions you have?
No.
No. Okay. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for your time, and then have a good rest of your day.
Okay. Thank you so much. You too.
See you next time.
Yes. Thank you.